Welcome back. You're watching the morning news on CNN News 18, and we have some breaking news coming in from the national capital. Now, there's more trouble for Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in the snooping case. According to LG office sources to CNN News 18, the Ministry of Home Affairs has now given sanction to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia under the Prevention of Corruption Act in the Feedback Unit snooping case in Delhi. LGVK Saxena had approved the CBI's request for prosecution sanction and forwarded the same to the Ministry of Home Affairs. The CBI had sought sanction to register FIR against Sisodia, who heads the Vigilance Department of Delhi government, under which the AAP government had in 2015 surreptitiously created the FBU, an extra-constitutional, extrajudicial intelligence agency to spy over different ministries, opposition political parties, entities and individuals. So this big breaking news coming in, trouble for Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in the snooping case. CNN News 18's Akash is joining us to give us more details on this. Akash, can you tell us more about this sanction that has been given by the Ministry of Home Affairs to prosecute Manish Sisodia?
Oh yes, so it is the biggest development. In fact, after the approval and recommendation of Lieutenant Governor, this is the development that we are getting where the Ministry of Home Affairs has finally given its sanction to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia under the Prevention of Corruption Act in the FBU case. Now, Anjali, this is for our viewers. Back in 2015, when Aam Aadmi Party got a thumping majority in Delhi, these FBU units were created, and the allegation is that these FBU units were created going beyond the line. And in fact, no approval from the cabinet was taken. In fact, Manish Sisodia used to head Vigilance Department, and this particular proposal was moved by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. So this is the allegation. In fact, just a few days back, when CBI conducted a preliminary inquiry in this particular case, this particular report was sent to Lieutenant Governor, and in fact, in the note of Lieutenant Governor, it was mentioned that prima facie it's a big violation of not only the legislation, but also this case is pertaining to corruption. And that is the reason why now we are learning that the sanction to prosecute Manish Sisodia is under the Prevention of Corruption Act. Also, if I can quote, Lieutenant General from that particular note, and I quote, "I am of considered view that the case requires to be further investigated by CBI deeply after registering a regular case. I therefore approve the proposal of Director of Vigilance to forward the request of CBI in respect of Manish Sisodia, Deputy Chief Minister." Now, we have seen a whole lot of political drama over this particular issue where, in fact, Bharatiya Janata Party said that this was the real intention of Aam Aadmi Party, and back in 2015, in fact, they were very clear that they are in the particular government to keep an eye on other political parties. They just want to track the developments. They just want to track the ministers of the central government. This was the initial allegation from the BJP. And in fact, the preliminary inquiry, several points were made in that preliminary inquiry that how initially 16 posts were created under the Vigilance Department. And even when, nobody, had that sort of power, and, they went beyond the powers that were given in the legislation. And soon after that, while, LG recommended this particular case to Ministry of Home Affairs, now we are learning that, sanction to prosecute Manish Sisodia. In fact, now we are learning that a case would be registered against Manish Sisodia, and it would be a second case by CBI, because we know that how in the excise policy case, his name has been very much there in the FIR, and in fact, he's a very part of investigation. On 26th of February, he's going to appear before CBI. So this is the second case. It will be important as to how Aam Aadmi Party would react to this, but this is an important development where, in fact, MHA has approved the sanction to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia.
Right, Akash. We also have our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh on this story. Pallavi, can you tell our viewers why exactly did Aam Aadmi Party set up the feedback unit back in 2015?
So the whole idea of the feedback unit, or the FBU as they call it, is to address the grievances. We take feedback from the people, we try and find out what their concerns are, and we are going to address their grievances, which is fair enough. But unfortunately, what was also happening is that one, the FBU was set up only violation of the norms, not even gone through the usual rigmarole of going through the cabinet, informing the LG's office, so on and so forth. But worse is what it was discovered was that it was actually being used to target the political opponents of the Aam Aadmi Party, which included also the BJP plus the Congress. So there's always this allegation that you are using this unit actually to snoop in on the activities of the political opponents and use it for your own political advantage and possibly also as far as your governance is concerned. That is where the objection has come to. So the process which of course goes to is that the LG has to seek the sanction of the MHA, recommends it to the Home Ministry that we should go ahead and prosecute the Deputy Chief Minister because he was the one who had ordered it. And once the Home Ministry gives that prosecution to the CBI to register an FIR, it's just now a process which is going to be put into place ASAP, and this would be seen as a huge setback and I would say a very, very serious allegation against the Deputy Chief Minister and eventually on the Chief Minister.
Right, Pallavi. I'd like to go back to Akash. Akash, when Manish Sisodia was summoned in the Delhi excise policy case, the Aam Aadmi Party claimed that it's just a political vendetta and, rubbished all the allegations. But now in the snooping case also, the Ministry of Home Affairs has now given sanction to prosecute Manish Sisodia. What do you think will be the reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party on this?
So, Anjali, they are on the very same line. In fact, they are saying that this FBU case is, again, the political vendetta because, they say that they maintained, in fact, they followed all the laid norms. And now, in fact, LG is working on the orders of central government. This is what they have to say. But in this particular case, when MHA has basically given its approval, now it would be important to see as to how things will pan out because we already know that, Manish Sisodia has to appear before CBI on 26th of February. How he said that he is busy with the budget process, how he is framing the budget, how he is busy with that process, and how he is unable to appear before CBI. But now CBI will be, filing a case, as Pallavi rightly mentioned, as soon as possible. And soon after that, we can, see some more developments. But definitely it would be interesting to see as to how Aam Aadmi Party would react because they have always maintained that, all these cases are fabricated cases, all these cases are fake cases. And, central government and the agencies are basically trying to frame Aam Aadmi Party and its leaders. And also, in fact, I remember the tweet of Manish Sisodia where he, in fact, said that just because I'm the education minister, I'm working for the education model of Delhi, and just they cannot digest the kind of work that Aam Aadmi Party government is doing in Delhi, and that's why they just try to create obstacle in those works. In fact, in the Finland teachers training case, in fact, this was the allegation just a few days back when CBI, asked Manish Sisodia to appear before the agency. This was the allegation. And now, after this particular development, we are expecting that the Aam Aadmi Party would be reacting in the same manner. However, it would be interesting to see as to how things will pan out.
All right, Akash. Thank you for giving us all those details. We have BJP's RP Singh joining us on the story. Sir, now Manish Sisodia is in fresh trouble and the Ministry of Home Affairs has given sanction to prosecute him in the snooping case. How would you like to react on this?
Well, they have used public money for the political objective. And that's why the case need to be pursued and followed by the agencies. And how they use that money and with what objectives, that will be clear by after the investigation happened. But yes, they were snooping on the political opponents and the bureaucrats, which they are not supposed to. So let's see how does the things happen. But yes, it's a very welcome step that any misuse of public exchequer, money from the public exchequer, should be prosecuted, should be investigated.
Right, sir. So earlier Manish Sisodia was summoned in the Delhi excise policy case, and now this snooping case has surfaced in which he's very much the main accused in the case. But the Aam Aadmi Party has claimed that this is just a political vendetta and they have just rubbished all the allegations put by the BJP. Your take on this?
Well, playing a victim card is their old technique and old strategy. But the fact is that ultimately everything is decided in court. One of the key functionary, Vijay Nair, is already in jail and they have applied for the bail. Many a times the court has rejected the bail for Vijay Nair, who was a conduit between the liquor lobby and the Aam Aadmi Party, and was also a person who funded the Goa elections. Almost into 100 crore, he was managing the fund for the Goa election also. So if they have anything to say, they can go to court and then ask the court to give them relief. But till now, neither Vijay Nair has been both the key functionary, one minister and another key functionary in the Aam Aadmi Party, has not been given any relief by the courts.
Also, sir, how do you think the feedback unit set up by the Aam Aadmi Party in 2015 to monitor different ministries helped them?
See, issue is, had they done it for their internal objectives of the government administration, then it would be still okay. But we have been told that they have done the snooping, and under that feedback unit, they have done the snooping on the opponents also, on the leader of oppositions also. So that's the problem. I mean, how can any government snoop on the leader of the opposition or the leaders in various political parties?
All right. What will be the BJP's next step now that Manish Sisodia has been given sanction by the Ministry of Home Affairs?
Well, we've been pursuing this matter quite long, and then we've been going in public also, and us have been following with the government now. And since the government has given a go-ahead to prosecute the matter, investigate the matter, we'll appreciate the investigation should happen at the earliest, so that everyone should know how they have used their money for their political objectives.
All right, sir. Can you tell us more about this snooping case that has happened, and the Aam Aadmi Party has been accused of snooping on the different ministries, and the opposition political parties were also being monitored by the Aam Aadmi Party. Can you tell us more about that?
I've been told there are 18 key political functionaries in the Delhi and the country who were snooped, who were based in Delhi, who were snooped, and they have hired retired people from the forces and the various other investigating agencies to do so. And then they had technology also to do so, but which is not as per the any democratic norm. So once the details come, we'll come to know more about it. But fact is that they snooped on the political opponents in Delhi, and in which it can be, I don't know the names, but it can be anyone, right from the Home Minister to anyone.
All right, Mr. R.P. Singh, thank you for speaking to CNN News 18. I'd like to go back to our correspondent, Akash. Akash, what do you think will be the next step by the BJP now that the Ministry of Home Affairs has given sanction to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia?
Oh, yes. So, Anjali, we know that how BJP is constantly attacking Aam Aadmi Party, in fact, the leaders of Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, in the excise policy case, we have seen that how a number of protests were carried out asking for the resignation of not only Manish Sisodia but also of the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. And now in this case, when finally Home Ministry has given its note to register a case against Manish Sisodia, we're expecting some sort of protest by the BJP, because they have been saying that this is a party which used to claim that this is a party of Imandari, this is a party of, Kattar Imandar leaders. But now this is the reality, where in the second case, in fact, and, it is important to mention that, while Home Ministry has given its approval in this particular case, Prevention of Corruption Act is something that they are going to prosecute Manish Sisodia in. And it is important because, Aam Aadmi Party, the whole idea behind creating a party after the Anda Andolan and, all other activities that happened back in 2012, 2013 and 2014 was that we'll be creating a party that will be a party of Aam Aadmi, a party that will be a Imandar party. And now, when we talk about all these allegations, yes, these are allegations, and, Aam Aadmi Party...
All right, Akash, we also have political analyst Ravi Srivastav joining us on this story. Sir, how would you like to react that the Ministry of Home Affairs has now given sanction to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in the snooping case?
I'm fully aware of this case, and the first thing I must tell you that these are all simple intimidating tactics by the BJP-ruled government via the LG P.K. Saxena, who is born to the king, and they are creating this atmosphere. You remember last Friday, after that, the slap from the Supreme Court on the mayoral election, the second day only the CBI summoned Manish Sisodia. Somehow they want to catch hold of him and show to the people that these people are as corrupt as we are. But this is not going to work, because Manish Sisodia has been raided by the CBI, inquired by the CBI, and even his name is not appearing in that excise case. So they are somehow trying to nab him in one or the other cases. And this tactics is well understood by the people, which has elected Aam Aadmi Party not once, twice, thrice, 4 times in Delhi. So this is not going to work anyway. And whatever this kind of pressure tactics the government wants to apply on Manish Sisodia, he will emerge more stronger. There is no worry about it. Let them prosecute him. Let them file a case. Let them fight it. Ultimately, the whole thing goes to the court of law, and the law ultimately prevails. So if there is a false case, this is not going to stand in the court. The snooping case was an absolutely false case. The feedback unit was stopped after 6-7 months only, and is trying to say that they were snooping via that particular unit on the people and the other politicians, the BJP politicians and others. This is absolutely baseless, concocted, fabricated, and not going to stand the scrutiny of law.
Right, Mr. Srivastav, thank you for giving your views on this. We also have BJP's Harish Khurana joining us. Mr. Khurana, so after the Delhi excise policy summons, now the Ministry of Home Affairs has given sanctions to prosecute Manish Sisodia in the snooping case. How would you like to react on this?
See, BJP welcomes the decision of Ministry of Home Affairs giving a permission to prosecute Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia on the snooping case. You remember BJP was raising this issue since quite long, that this snooping has happened way back of political leaders, media houses, officers of Delhi officers, and also as well as judges also. And illegally they have made a secret service fund also, where the money has been diversified illegally. BJP was raising this issue, and now when this prosecution permission has been granted, we welcome the decision. And Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia has to give a lot of answers that the snooping has been taken place of who, which all leaders, which all officers also. He has to give a lot of answers, and I think the day is not very far behind when these people will be behind bars.
Right, Mr. Khurana, thank you for speaking to CNN News 18. We also have our correspondent Anshul live with us on this story. Anshul, how do you think will this impact the image of the Aam Aadmi Party, the Kattar Imandar Party image?
Well, yes, the Aam Aadmi Party has continuously been saying that all these allegations are being put against him to hamper their image. They say that they have worked for the people of Delhi, and now since the BJP is out of power across the national capital, be it in the MCDs or be it in the state elections, then the BJP is now trying to dampen that image. But if you see the allegations that have been made by the CBI in this entire scenario is very, very grave, because if you see the CBI conducted a preliminary inquiry into this entire matter, after which they went ahead and asked the Lieutenant Governor that they should be given the permission to actually carry out a deep investigation into this entire matter, post which the LG went ahead and wrote this letter to the Home Ministry. And now today we are finding this out that the Home Ministry has given that go ahead to the LG, which means that the CBI is in the very near future going to register an FIR in this entire matter and start a preliminary inquiry. Now, if you see this entire matter, the very day on which the LG came out and said that investigation should happen, the BJP took this hands-on, and in fact, senior members of the BJP came out and sat in protest. They say that the feedback unit that was built by the Aam Aadmi Party in the year 2015-2016, the main motive of this feedback unit on paper, although, was to make sure that any sort of untoward incidents or any sort of corruption that is being reported from inside ministries of the Delhi government, that should be reported to the highest authority, that is Arvind Kejriwal in that party, so that requisite actions could be taken. But now the allegations have come to the fore that this feedback unit that was built, in which the people who were recruited, the recruitment was done of former intelligence agents. So this feedback unit that was built by the Delhi government started snooping on opposition leaders and Supreme Court and High Court and Supreme Court judges, is what is the allegation of the BJP. Now, since the CBI is going to register an FIR into this case and start another investigation against Manish Sisodia, then definitely many eyebrows will be raised on the manner in which the Aam Aadmi Party government has been operating. Because remember, Manish Sisodia is already under the lens. In fact, is accused number 1 in the FIR registered by the CBI in the alleged liquor gate scam. And now another inquiry by the CBI is definitely going to raise the problems of the Aam Aadmi Party. So yes, it remains to be seen as to how does the Aam Aadmi Party defend these allegations, because these allegations are actually very, very severe in nature. Remember, last year around same sort of incident happened in India, where the opposition led by Rahul Gandhi made sure that the House was not allowed to function. If you remember the Pegasus scandal that had come to the fore, in which many media personalities and opposition leaders were snooped upon allegedly, and the entire report came to the fore, and this became a massive controversy. Now this time around, the same sort of thing has happened in the national capital with all the arms and ammunitions now on the side of the BJP. So yes, they are going to continue with the relentless attack on the Aam Aadmi Party, so that their so-called image of a Kattar Imandar party that is dampened, and so that there could be another manner in which BJP could go ahead and revive itself in the national capital, because at this point in time the Delhi BJP is absolutely inconsequential when you see the kind of the manner in which the politics is happening in the national capital.
Right, Anshul, please stay with us. I'd like to go back to Akash, who's with us on this story. Akash, has there been any reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party on this sanction given by the Ministry of Home Affairs so far? I think we've lost the line with Akash. Anshul, I'd like to come back to you. Is there any reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party on the sanction that has been given by the Ministry of Home Affairs?
So yes, the Aam Aadmi Party has continuously been saying that all these are baseless allegations, and they are trying to incriminate Manish Sisodia, because remember, Manish Sisodia is one of the strongest ministers when it comes to the Delhi government. He has more than 17 portfolios with him. And we have seen that how the BJP has continuously amped up this attack against Manish Sisodia. Not only the Liquorgate scam, but now this. And there are other allegations against Manish Sisodia for corruption in many other cases, be it the case in which allegations were raised by the BJP regarding the manner in which funds were used for building classrooms in the national capital. So yes, there have been continuous allegations that have been put against Manish Sisodia by the BJP. The BJP has continuously tried to target Sisodia because he's one of the most powerful ministers in the Arvind Kejriwal cabinet. However, on the other hand, if you see, the Aam Aadmi Party has come out with this argument that more than 173 cases have been registered against their MLAs. However, in more than 134 cases, the cases have been found baseless. So they say that all these cases that have been put against their ministers, against their leaders, are mostly baseless, and just try to divert the issue, divert the sentiment of people from the development of the national capital to petty issues of corruption, where there have been no corruption found in many of these cases. So yes, the Aam Aadmi Party has continuously defended itself, and have been saying that this is just a propaganda of the BJP, in which the BJP is now using the ED and the CBI against the Aam Aadmi Party to prosecute them and to dampen their image. But yes, it is still going to be a very, very long fight for the Aam Aadmi Party to come out clean from all these allegations that have been put forth against them, because these are very, very crucial and critical allegations that have been put against the Aam Aadmi Party, because snooping on leaders, invading into the privacy of common people in the national capital, is something that is going to raise many, many eyebrows. So yes, it is up to the CBI to make sure now that they carry out a thorough investigation in this entire matter and come out with clarity as to what transpired in those 6 to 7 months in which this feedback unit was operating in the year 2016, and if any sort of data that was collected, or if the people were snooped on, what happened to that data, where did that data go? So these are some of the pertinent questions that would be answered once the CBI inquiry is finished. But yes, at this point in time, the Aam Aadmi Party has called all these allegations baseless, and they say that let there be any inquiry, we are ready for any sort of inquiry. But yes, they say that they know that they are going to come out innocent out of this, as they have come out in many past cases in the recent past.
All right, Anshul, let's listen in to what BJP's Harish Khurana has to say on this.
उसने सीबीआई को प्रोसिक्यूशन करने की इजाजत दे दी है। दिल्ली में जो मामला आया था, स्नूपगेट या जासूसी का मामला जो सामने आया था, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसका स्वागत करती है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी निश्चित तौर के ऊपर कई मौकों के ऊपर ये बात उठाती हुई आई थी कि इल्लीगल तरीके से जिस प्रकार से अरविंद केजरीवाल, मनीष सिसोदिया ने एक यूनिट बनाया और उसके अंदर कैमरास खरीदे गए और तमाम अफसरों को अपॉइंट किया गया था इलीगल तरीके से 2015 के अंदर, और तमाम जो हमारा आरोप था, हमें शक था कि कई मीडिया हाउसेस के, कई राजनीतिकों के,
कई अफसरों के इन्होंने जासूसी करवाई। सवाल उठता है, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, आपने सीक्रेट सर्विस फंड क्यों बनाया था? आपको बहुत सारे सवालों के जवाब देने होंगे। और अब जब होम अफेयर्स ने इसकी प्रोसेक्यूशन की इजाजत दे दी है, तो ये जो जांच की आंच है वो आप तक पहुंचेगी और निश्चित तौर के ऊपर वो दिन दूर नहीं है कि आपको इस मामले को के अंदर आपको जेल भी जाना पड़ सकता है। निश्चित तौर के ऊपर आपने जो इलीगल काम किया, ना सिर्फ आपने इलीगल बल्कि भ्रष्टाचार भी किया, ये दोनों मामले बनते हैं। जिस प्रकार से आपने जासूसी करवाई और उसके बाद भ्रष्टाचार, सीक्रेट सर्विस फंड के नाम पे जो भ्रष्टाचार किया, वो दिल्ली की जनता के सामने है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसका स्वागत करती है। ये जांच बहुत निश्चित तौर के ऊपर गिरफ्तार।
Well, that's all for now, but news and updates continue here on CNN News 18. Thanks for watching.